We have a proposal today that we believe will provide for greater stability and also for a way for us to address in a more systematic way the problem of the unfunded pension liabilities and the fact that we have not been able to build up our rainy day fund to the levels that would be considered healthy by rating services and also provide us with a cushion for bad times.
And the proposal is to establish a cap on E&F, estimated in finals at $3.1 billion, which is where we are today. So there will be no impact on FY18 and a minimal, relatively, a $30 million impact. These are on projections going forward, a $30 million impact which would be segregated off and put towards debt, long-term debt, as well as to fund the Budget Reserve Fund more adequately. And if we do better in terms of our estimates and finals, that we would begin to address capital investments as well in terms of immediate payments as opposed to borrowing. The goal is to slow the growth of the fixed cost percentage of overall expenditures and ultimately to bend the arc back down towards more reasonable levels of how much the fixed costs are consuming of our expenditures, to improve our credit rating, to grow our budget reserve fund, which will also alleviate pressure in a downturn, to turn to raising more revenue and to cutting important programs.
This is a way for us to start dealing with our budget, making significant structural changes. Over the next couple of weeks, we will be presenting an extremely austere budget that will also rein in expenditures in accordance with the revenue that is currently available. And I really have to appreciate both Senator Looney and Senator Fonfara for looking at things from a different set of lenses to see where we need to go to have that stability that is so necessary in dealing with our unfunded liabilities and our debt.
It's a wonderful idea that will focus on the future and work to improve the future fiscal climate of the state of Connecticut, because as we all know, structurally the pension costs are so significant, and as a difficult day we are today where we're struggling to try to deal with the current 2-year budget, the out years are even worse. So this example that Senator Fonfara and my leadership has come up with is an excellent idea. I'm very, very pleased to be here today, and I thank them for such innovative leadership so we can try to correct the ship as known as the state of Connecticut. Thank you.
This kind of stability, this kind of sustainability in our budget process is long overdue. I'm glad that Senate Democrats are standing up and sticking to coming up with and preparing a plan that will give what my constituents, be they businesses or individuals, have consistently called me on and saying that we need sustainability, we need stability. And even more important, something that is near and dear to my heart, we need some room also on the spending side of our budget so we can take care of the citizens of our state.
The tool that Senator Fonfara is talking about, the volatility cap, is an entirely new method of dealing with our long-term issues, which is something that, quite frankly, we have not faced head-on. When you look at other cities and states, for that matter, that have been in these positions, this is what they have done. They have reinvented themselves in an entirely new way. Think back to New York City when they were virtually on the point of bankruptcy. They restructured themselves in new and different ways. And so this tool is just one means of us doing this. And it is about growing our economy, addressing in a candid, honest way the issues that I think have for too long been dealt with in an offhand way.
I think what we're trying to attempt to do here is really sort of put a mechanism or a device in that starts to control and pay forward some of those obligations. I think people in Connecticut are looking for stability. I think that the retirees, frankly, are looking for stability, as are state employees. And we think we have a mechanism in place that we'll use as a tool to guide us so that we can forecast what pension costs will be, to look at paying down and backstopping those ideas. So I think that this is a tremendous step forward for us in this particular time, and I think it will give the communities around business communities and so forth the focus that Connecticut is serious about paying down debt and about controlling their spending and their costs.